Okay, so today we are digging into something absolutely critical for any creator out there. We're talking about the huge shift from building your audience on rented land, social media, to actually constructing your own sovereign digital empire. Now, if you make content online, you're going to want to listen up, because this could seriously change the entire game for you.
And this quote right here, it just cuts right to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? You could have 1 million followers, but at the end of the day, that number is kind of a mirage. The platform, they own the connection. They own the data. They set all the rules. You're basically just borrowing that relationship, and they can call that loan in at any time for any reason. So it really all boils down to this one key difference. You've got rented reach on one side, which is kind of like a house of cards, It's fragile, it's totally controlled by someone else. And then on the other side, you have the owned empire, and that's a fortress. It's stable, you're in charge, and it's a permanent asset that you're building for your future.
So let's really dive into the problem here, what the source material calls the rented land crisis. You know that feeling of security you get when you see a big follower count? Well, I hate to break it to you, but it's mostly an illusion. Let's break down exactly why. This right here, this chart just brutally lays out the truth of social media today. You might have, say, 100,000 followers, but the platform's algorithm makes sure only a teeny tiny fraction of them, we're talking maybe 5 to 10%, will ever even see what you post. It's like you're constantly playing the algorithm lottery. And guess what? The house almost always wins. And it's not just your reach that gets hammered, it's your wallet. When you try to make money through the platform's own tools, they can take this massive cut, sometimes as high as 30%. Think about that. It's a huge tax you're forced to pay just for the privilege of talking to the audience that you built. And beyond all that, there are these other, even sneakier dangers lurking around. First, the data blackout. If that platform goes down or kicks you off, your entire audience list just poof, it's gone. Then you've got the toxic noise. Your amazing brand is constantly surrounded by trolls and bots that you have zero control over. But the biggest threat of all, platform risk. A single random policy change can literally wipe out your entire business overnight. No warning, no appeal. Okay, so that's the crisis, and yeah, it's a pretty bleak picture. But let's shift gears and talk about the solution. This is what we call the owned empire advantage, and it's all about taking back the power that you've been forced to give away.
Now this is the first and honestly the most powerful promise of the whole thing. Just imagine this for a second. You hit post and your entire community sees it. Every single time. There's no algorithm to fight, no mysterious black box deciding your fate. You get a direct, unfiltered line to every single person who chose to be there. It's a total game changer.
And from a money standpoint, this changes everything. You can literally create your own economy. So courses, sell merch, create tiered memberships, all directly to your community, with no middleman taking that 30% tax. Every dollar you earn is a dollar you keep, funding your work directly. You are finally in complete control of your own revenue.
I love this slide because it shows such a fundamental shift. See, you're not just cultivating passive followers anymore. You're building a community of active participants. In your own space, people start talking to each other, not just to you. They form real bonds, and pretty soon, the community itself becomes a huge source of value. It takes all the pressure off you to be this 24/7 content machine. It's a powerful network effect. The more people join, the more valuable the space becomes for everyone.
And finally, you get to build what's called cultural sovereignty. Your house, your rules. You get to set the terms of engagement. You create a safe, curated space that actually reflects your brand and your values. And that fosters way deeper connections and keeps your best fans around for the long haul, far away from all the chaos of the public internet. Okay, so we get the why. That part's clear. But what about the how, right? How do you actually guide someone from being just a casual follower on a public feed to becoming a dedicated member of your private community? Well, this next section lays out the exact framework for that journey, the value ladder. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It can feel like this huge, impossible leap. How do you convince someone to leave the comfort of their favorite app and join you somewhere totally new? Well, the answer is all about understanding their mindset and then giving them a really clear path to follow. This table just maps out that journey perfectly. Look, it starts with awareness on public social media, right? They're just passively consuming your stuff. Then you build interest by offering them a free taste of your owned network, which shifts their thinking to,
I want more of this. Next up is commitment, where they actually pay for premium access because now they want to belong. And then you hit the final stage, advocacy. This is where they see the community as their tribe and they start co creating the culture right alongside you. It's an amazing progression from passive fan to active leader. All right, we've got the strategy, we've got the psychology behind it. Now for the last piece of the puzzle, the tactical plan. So let's walk through a clear, actionable blueprint for how you actually launch your own digital nation.
So here it is, your step-by-step blueprint. First, you seed the culture. You never launch to an empty room, right? You invite your top 50 superfans in first to get the vibe started. Step 2, you market the velvet rope. Frame it as this exclusive space, the signal that cuts through all the public noise. Step 3, you drop exclusive content. Give them something so valuable they can't get it anywhere else, make joining a total no-brainer. And finally, and this might be the most important step, incentivize peer connection. The second a member makes a friend in your community, they're not just there for you anymore, they're there for each other. That's how you lock them in.
You know, when you zoom out, all of this really points to a huge shift in identity. This isn't just about changing your platform, it's about evolving your role as a creator. The old model of the influencer, the person who just broadcasts to a crowd, that's becoming obsolete. The future, for sure, belongs to the community leader. And this quote just says it all. The choice for every creator today is pretty simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Are you going to keep broadcasting to a rented crowd, just crossing your fingers and hoping the algorithm notices you? Or are you going to take on the much more meaningful work of building your own digital nation? The choice is yours.